So, I've been talking a lot of shit, but now we're actually out here. Although I don't really, do the whole sports thing. Like, I know a few things. So this is a time where I get to show you Colin's old soccer skills.
What?
I'm about to look like Messi, is what I'm trying to say. I'm about to play you like Ronaldo.
Okay.
Ha! You missed. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
So,
we're TikTok famous. Nah.
that's a bit of a stretch.
What do you have in mind? What do you?
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna rebrand myself, and that's a funny way of saying I'm gonna go off the grid, move to Alaska, and just everybody I know saw my TikTok.
Yeah.
And it didn't help. Like, I was promoting it, trying to get it big, but like there were some people that I was like, yeah, they shouldn't have seen that one.
Oh no. I don't know why you insist on having family follow you.
It's not like I
Especially
insist.
considering what you post.
It's not that I like insist. It's just that
I have blocked family members on
that would be a
social
great
platforms.
idea, honestly.
Yeah. It's better they just not know. Yeah.
Now my grandma has
What?
tried asking about, like, oh, well, what's this little thing he does? I'm like, Grandma, please don't watch it. Please don't watch it.
Well,
You will hate it.
Colin's grandma, if you do happen to watch, nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Devin. But your grandson is doing good things outside of this.
This particularly, nah.
Not so much. But I promise you, he's doing well otherwise.
Yeah. It's been an experience.
Yeah.
Seeing that a video of me shaking ass in my underwear.
Toes curled.
Toes curled. Yes. Thank you, Cam. Yeah, we can't let you forget that detail.
Flailing my feet
Yeah.
and shit.
That's what killed me.
Yeah. Paper beard. Yeah, take a sip. Yeah. Recoup.
If you haven't seen the TikTok, we both got some relative success off of some videos we made about this new Tom MacDonald song.
Yeah. Not in support, making fun of.
Yeah. I was making fun of a guy who was singing to the song, like, unironically. So I, like, mimicked him, and it did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Devin, on the other hand, he made a joke about how it was a astronaut in the oceans knockoff, which I didn't actually realize until you had said it.
Yeah.
Like, how uncanny it is.
No, it was a solid point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you take the most boring, like, generic pop song in the past, like, 2 years from TikTok and
you
make it
worse?
racist?
Make it Republican.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a lot of...
The two interchangeable R words.
Yeah. They're one and the same. They're synonyms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Homonyms? Because they also kind of sound the same? Not really, but
Yeah, that's a stretch.
it's a stretch, but...
But,
That's a homophone.
A homophobe?
Homologous?
Homogenous? Androgynous.
Homosexual.
Technical
That's a TikTok.
That's a clip. All right. So, let's give a little backstory on those things. So I first saw someone trashing the song, and so I gave a listen to the sound. I give a peek at all the people under that sound, and boy, is it a doozy.
Oh man, it literally looks like a trailer park.
Yeah, it's
I don't even know how they get Wi-Fi out there.
honestly, that's crazy. That's the craziest part. But like all the people under that sound, at least if you dig deep enough, they start popping up more frequently because people at the top of the sound are the ones trashing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I hopped on that wave pretty early.
Yeah.
I'm actually like in the top row of the sound now, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
But
My boy top 2.
yeah, smoking on top 5s. We both were for a second, I think.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm in top 5. You're like, actually, where Kendrick is.
yeah.
Number 2.
Wow.
Imagine I say like number 1 is like Baby Keem. He just can't beat his big cousin, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, man. But like
Baby Keem's cousin just doesn't top him.
calling him Baby Keem's cousin. Yo. Oh my god.
I heard he's dropping an album soon. I wonder if he's good.
He's hella underground. Yeah.
Yeah. Seems a little like old to get into the game right now.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It's like, where's he been, honestly?
honestly.
But so I make the video. I put on the wig that I used for our April Fool's episode.
Oh yeah.
I put on a blue eye like contact filter, and it got a lot of traction in the first hour. I was like, oh, this could do something. And then it's funny because Colin hopped on the Discord and was like, yo, I'm in general. He hopped on the Discord call, and then I'm like, yo, check out my TikTok. But he's actually actively doing it right before I even get the word out.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm fucking sick of you. I'm fucking sick of you.
And then it didn't even register yet. Like I paused it before I had even gotten to the jump scare part.
Oh, so you just saw like the number?
No, I saw the joke about like
Oh.
the astronaut in the, damn. About the astronaut in the ocean thing.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until after I was like, I'm so fucking sick of you. I was like, I'm gonna just finish it out, play it, and then just white boy. Fucking.
So that's what that delayed breakdown was. That's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I was going through it in real time.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Um,
I was so happy I caught your live reaction.
Yeah. That's kind of what I got today. I just posted another regrettable TikTok, and I got Devin's live reaction, which I thought was pretty great.
Yeah.
I really hope that one does well, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be humiliated.
Yeah. But like, so he saw my TikTok and all that, and saw I was doing relatively well, and was like, yo, let me hop on real quick while it's still early. So,
Yeah, I can't let you do anything and like, enjoy success without having to ride off of it, for sure.
That's why we have this.
Like, if we really want to talk about the socioeconomic, political state of the world, I'm really
Yeah.
just trying to like gentrify your success. Make
Honestly,
it about
yeah.
me. Benched. You came up with the idea. I just funded it. I'm like Elon Musk. One of these days, you're getting kicked out, and I'm calling myself the founder.
Any analogy where you end up Elon Musk cannot be a good one.
Exactly.
But
Satire.
yeah, sure.
That was the other thing about the TikTok was I need to make sure that people get that this is satire.
You took so long in the game planning process. It was all in the Discord as well.
This was all like in real time. Like I probably spent an hour thinking about what to do for this TikTok.
Because he wanted to make a mockery of the guy, but not make it seem like he was also just like one of them.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to make it ridiculous enough, and he had a bunch of weird ideas to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Or I was contributing to that as well. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
put on some knee-high socks.
Yeah, and I think Jaden was the one who said make fun of his height.
Yes.
So, that kind of came into play.
Yes.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I just had to make it very apparent that, like, as a white dude under this song about being a proud white boy, that I wasn't playing into the shitty Tom MacDonald song.
Yeah.
I needed to make sure that people knew it was, like, satire, and that's what I was most stressed about.
Mm.
Make sure that it's, like, clear enough.
Yeah. I mean, luckily with you, a lot of the comments that I saw at least, seemed to get it.
Yeah.
Which was great. And
my biggest thing is like a lot of times when I try to do something like this, I don't really nail the details to get it like obvious enough.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some times where I post something and I'm like, this probably seems questionable, because like I don't give it like just enough detail to make it seem like, oh, this guy's joking.
Yeah, but I also think more often than not, you overthink.
Yeah,
You know,
that's fair.
like for what the final result was, and with how well it did. Like I guess it worked out in the end, but like that video did not need an hour of planning beforehand. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
You basically just twerked on your counter with a wedgie.
The thought of me throwing ass on my bathroom counter,
And that
flailing my little Vans around.
No, you want to know what's crazy? In the car before we stepped out to set everything up, he was like, I don't want to pin my peanut butter video because it has 20,000 views. I don't want that to be my legacy. And then he goes on to pin the other one. So I already questioned.
That one did
you.
100,000. There's a difference.
There's a difference. Yeah.
11
Sure.
or 22,000 views on a video of my dad's jar of peanut butter is a lot different.
Yeah.
Which I think this may be the first time that my dad will be hearing about 22,000 views on his jar of peanut butter. So shout out to my dad.
Scratch that off your bucket list.
Shout out to my dad. He explained to me what it was. It wasn't anything too crazy.
What actually happened there then?
I think he said that like,
For those who don't know, Colin's dad has a jar of peanut butter that had a really clean edge.
yeah.
So
It literally looked like it was like smoothly scraped, and people in the comments were joking like, "Oh, bro, I licked it." You know,
Yeah.
like you made that joke. Somebody else said like rubber spatula.
Yeah.
Spatula.
Spatula.
Somebody said he dipped a finger in there.
Yeah.
He ended up telling me, he was like, "Yeah, listen, he lives alone, so like for the most part, like it doesn't bother him to like scoop shit just direct out of the jar.
Right.
It's like it's not anything too bad." He said like he would like use pretzels and shit, and that made it easier to get everything off the sides.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't think a pretzel would be smooth enough or to get all that at least as cleanly as it was.
Yeah, it probably was hard, but like I said, he doesn't do it. He probably dips other like foods and stuff in there too, so it is still kind of gross, but like not what
That's
I
not the
thought.
worst,
I
yeah.
thought that he was like straight just finger scooping the bit.
Gross.
Also, to the comment who said that they see a hole, or they expected to see a hole in the middle.
You're sick, but I get it.
No, exactly. But now knowing the backstory, I hope that people understand why I would never want to see that. Also,
If you saw that, you'd be
yeah, I'd be traumatized. Like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna dig too.
Years
I'm not
of
gonna dig
therapy.
too much. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go back a step.
Yeah. So the Tom McDonald TikToks blew up.
Yeah.
Yours
Yours was received relatively well. Mine got a little bit of got some people debating.
Yeah, that's what I thought was interesting too. Like, I still made it very clear that like, I was making fun of the dude, and like,
Yeah.
basically just like people on the right wing. Like, I was putting a bunch of like hashtags and comments to be annoying. And not a lot of debate.
Yeah.
Like, I was really expecting it to be like a heavily contested thing in the comments like yours was, but yours, you literally just said the song was a bootleg of this other song.
Now the thing that got people triggered was I said the no word, I said the R word, I said the buzzword, I said racist. So, you know.
I don't see, like, I thought that they liked NASCAR.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, the umbrella is janky as hell.
Yeah. Our boy Cam.
It may have honestly just broke, because I think when we were recording one time, it like fell while it was opened,
Oh, you're
and it just
right.
snapped.
Our boy
Oh, you're
Cam is
Bruh snapped.
manning the cameras right now, as well as a umbrella to keep it in the shade. And
Yeah.
there's some
We
technical
started
difficulties.
recording in 4K, so if this episode looks crispy as fuck, that's why.
Yeah,
We're up in the production quality.
Yeah, you can see all the sweat beating off my fucking face because it's hot as hell.
Oh, yeah. I wore the Guy Fieri shorts just to signify how fucking hot it is today. We're going into like Florida summer, which, you know, it's hitting 90s.
Yeah.
I think I want to take like less than a minute on this. Have you heard about like India and Pakistan?
What's going on?
More like climate crisis stuff. Like they're having like, I saw it on Reddit last night. It was literally like record highs. Like they said 62 degrees Celsius.
Oh.
Which I think roughly translates out to like 140 degrees.
Yeah.
142.
That's crazy.
The comments are literally like people saying like we're living in hell. This is testing like human survivability.
They're bug.
Okay, a bug. Little tiny bug.
Yeah. Okay.
It is really a sad situation, but if this is just the start of the summer, I can't imagine where this is gonna go.
Jesus Christ. No, that's fucking intense.
Yeah.
That's like living in a car.
Mhm.
That's just. Oh, that's like leaving your dog in a car. And
Yeah.
Trying to go somewhere.
It's just suffocating.
Yeah.
You know, we complain about like 100-degree temperatures, and it's like I can't even imagine what that even feels like.
Yeah.
It's like as a Floridian, it's like talking about snow.
Yeah.
Being like, yo, like I have no idea.
No, they're
How
literally
extreme
being
that is.
fried.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So not to take too much away, I just wanted to mention it because it is a really interesting thing. When people talk about climate crisis, this is the kind of shit that they're talking about. And, you know, it's scary to think that maybe within a few years this may not be, or that area may not even be habitable anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Damn.
But,
anyways.
Yeah.
Jeez.
To jump back a step.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Really dark, but it was a really interesting thing. But it is hot out.
Now I feel bad for even complaining.
Yeah, right? Everything always, like, feels bad to complain about in retrospect.
Yeah.
We're like,
but,
man, I just wish my TikTok would have gotten, like, 5,000 more views. And there's still a war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So, you know.
All problems are okay relative.
Yeah.
But, you know. So back to the other thing. I'm just at a loss for words now, man. What the fuck?
Back.
Yeah.
But I'll try to segue back.
There's like a lot of discourse around my video particularly.
Yeah.
Because I used the R word and I was a little bit more blunt in some comments, and a lot of the people commenting on mine were more blunt about like in agreement and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the people who weren't all asked the same question: how is it racist? How is this racist? And then
It's like, but to play devil's advocate.
yeah, and then the people who were like, yo, this isn't racist, but it's cringe.
It's like cringe, but I don't see how it's racist.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like reeks of white supremacy. That's the whole. It's literally talking about being like a fucking, like proud, crazy white boy. It's like white dudes don't need a hype song.
Yeah.
Like can we put that out there? Like
there's some connotations that come along with being proud of your whiteness, being proud of versus being proud of like more specific things like your ethnicity.
Yeah.
Like a Europeanness or something like that.
Yeah. Like especially like when you go into like more philosophical shit and you talk about like how whiteness more as a concept than really as like you said, an ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
Being proud of being white isn't like being proud of being European. It's being proud of being the like oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
Being proud of being the exploiter.
Yeah. And if you
we just saw death before our eyes.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving just for that reason.
I'll go into another story in a second, but just to round this thought out.
No, we are not done with that. I'm not done with that.
The B?
Oh, the B? No, I'm plenty done with that. I mean the...
Yeah, I was saying we need to finish
gotcha.
out the Tom MacDonald thing.
But, like... So, I think if you if you don't see the difference, why a Proud to Be white song and a Proud to Be black song are very different. I kind of have to believe that you choose not to see the difference.
Yeah.
You know, there's the connotations that come along with Proud to Be white song, and especially like the people that would be into that, you gotta find it a little questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, I'd say a Proud to Be black song is a lot different, considering a lot of them have had their identity as far as ethnicity stripped from them. So they all need that, or they would need that sort of a relating factor
Mm-hmm.
to have something to be proud of. And it's not the same by any means. And Tom MacDonald as a whole, it's just...
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to like maybe one day do like a reaction, but I also don't want to stream his music.
Right.
I don't want to like give him any money, even if it's like 6 cents.
Right.
But just like when you hear about the shit he says, to some extent it is like, I hate to use the word, like it's fucking cringy, because it's people are making the joke like, how are you not only going to be bigoted in your music but then also make trash ass music?
Yeah. How are you 0 for 2?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, it's just like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like the whole concept of Tom MacDonald, especially when he was complaining about being like an oppressed white person on some of his songs. It's like, you know, especially with rap being a song based around like, or with rap being a genre generally based around like the black struggle within America.
Mm-hmm.
For then you to use that as a platform to complain about like how being a white person is so awful.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so like tone deaf.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've talked about Tom MacDonald before, and I've kind of made that same point.
Yeah.
It's just, it's painful to listen to, because you're just like, dude, like you, like the plot is right here, and you just...
I was getting into it with this one dude. I was like, because I put my pinned comment as something like, if a lot of the discourse around you is debating if you're a racist or not, that should say a lot about you.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, I mean, I want to just find it so I can just read it off instead.
He's also one of those like anti-cancel culture type people.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, while you're looking that up, as a brief cutaway, cancel culture is one of those things where I just also feel like, no, it doesn't necessarily work. Like most it's more of, all it really does is shift your audience somewhere else.
Yeah. I never really found a problem with cancel culture because it never worked.
Yeah.
To the extent, like, your career is never over. You're just like getting backlash for some shit that you should own up to in the first place. But you, like, time and time again, people that have been canceled end up going right back to what they were doing before, getting the same brand deals and whatever, making the same money that they were before.
I feel like
it was never the problem that you make it out to be.
Yeah, like I said, it's not ever necessarily like a deplatforming of a person. It's always like a shift of audience from one group to another. You know, if you hear, and I think that more says something about like the divide between people, not only on social media, but just like in general. As soon as you hear like, oh, Joe Rogan said something dumb about the COVID vaccine, all of the anti-vaxxer people were just like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go fuck with Joe Rogan.
Yeah. If you thought cancel culture actually worked, do you think people like Tony Lopez or Zoe Laverne or any of these like TikTokers with allegations would still be on these platforms doing what they're doing?
Yeah. You know? It's even crazier when like trying to cancel somebody for committing a crime. And it's like, at that point, you're not necessarily canceling them. You're like trying to highlight Like, yo, this
also
dude
canceling
committed a
has such a
fucking...
broad term. Like,
Yeah.
Like, did we cancel Harvey Weinstein? Did we
No.
cancel Bill Cosby? No, they went to
got
jail for their
arrested.
crimes. Yeah.
And, you know, to be fair, maybe that's where that comes from, where it's like,
Mhm.
okay, even though a Tony Lopez didn't face any,
Yeah.
you know, real charges or anything, maybe we try to deplatform him as a way of saying, like, we still don't fuck with what you did.
Yeah.
And
guess
I understand
what?
that.
It didn't fucking work. He's still around doing his stupid dance videos
Yep.
and shit's obnoxious.
Especially to kids who don't understand the severity of his charges.
Right.
Literally the target audience of his actions.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like, yeah, this guy is like Tom MacDonald being a anti-cancel culture, anti-woke.
Mhm.
But I found the comment. The guy was like, "If only there was such a thing as doing your own thing and not complaining about something someone else said." So I went back.
is that not what he just did to you?
Yeah, it was like kind of ironic considering what you just commented on my thing. I was like, "Yo, do you think Tom just doesn't know what he's doing? If he didn't get this attention, he wouldn't have anything to bitch and moan at." Because it's just a vicious cycle of like, he'll say the wildest out there shit, and he's not like he is a dumb person, but not in that way. Like, he's not dumb in the sense that he knows what'll get his music out there and what'll get people going. So like,
He probably believes this, but he also understands marketing, and he's like, I know that the fucking the woke left is gonna hate this one.
It's like, so it's this vicious cycle of he'll say this outlandish shit. He'll get the rightful criticism for it, I'll say.
Yeah.
And then he'll bitch and moan that he is getting canceled and that the mob is after him.
Yep.
The woke mob is after him. And then
It's
he'll
all
repeat
marketing.
the process because that's what gives him material for his songs, and they're all the same.
Yeah.
They're all the fucking same.
And he gets to play this underdog card where like, oh, like they're trying to get rid of me. You know, they don't want to hear the truth.
Right.
You know, that's always the thought behind any sort of like crazy right-wing conspiracist or just bigot in general.
Yeah.
They're like, they don't, you know, remember, what was his name? Like, Milo Yiannopoulos or something like that? And that may be the complete wrong name.
Yeah.
I may be mixing two people, but it was this one dude who, I think he was a gay conservative, but he would go on college campuses and he would use that as a way of like legitimizing some of his more hateful views.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you got like the Ben Shapiro types and the Steven Crowder types where it's just like they get to play the underdog because, oh, I got kicked off this college campus. They don't want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah. Oh, I'm being censored. Fuck
The
you.
facts don't care about your feelings.
Right. Nah,
It's like-
so he went back at me saying he isn't the one bitching and moaning. You guys are the ones bitching and moaning. That's why he riles you guys up and you make him more popular. So I said, the difference between him and I is he made a career out of this and he is a public figure, and that's going to come with the territory. That comes with the territory. I just made a video about it because I am not that.
Yeah.
And if I knew the video was going to do well, I would have been a lot harsher with my words.
Yeah.
You know?
You wouldn't have held back.
Yeah. Like, this is his whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know.
Woo. Woo. We should have like a weekly bug spot where it's just like a compilation of like bugs flying by us, and we're like,
Yeah.
do the thing where like they stretch out the audio. It's like,
Yeah. Nah, so then he just thought, he came back with this weak ass shit. He was like, at the end of the day, he's living in a mansion making millions. He doesn't care what you think about him as long as you keep getting his music popular. Like, you know,
it's
way to add to the discourse, you know?
Yeah. Imagine being that much of a dick rider
Yeah.
for fucking Tom MacDonald.
Yeah.
Honestly, top 5 rappers right now.
I see
I
you
didn't
read
say
my
best or
comments as
worst.
well. Yeah.
Easily top 5 worst rappers.
There it is. There it is. It's just.
But you don't understand. It's about.
He did blackface for one of his
I do remember this.
one of the either like thumbnails or something for one of his songs.
Yeah.
Like that's
I don't know.
questionable.
I feel like he tries to take, especially with like the direction in like visuals and stuff.
Yeah.
He tries to take this like Joyner Lucas approach where
Right.
like he tries to play like I'm the really fucking smart rapper who's
Yeah.
saying shit that like people ain't even thought about.
Nobody
like-
wants to hear this one. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk about this.
The opposite is like Joyner Lucas has made songs that, you know, are fairly conceptual and, you know, have like a really good message.
Mhm.
You know, the whole I'm not racist thing, that blew up forever ago, like 2018, I think, and that was such
that was way earlier.
Oh, really?
I feel like,
Like
yeah.
2017 probably? Because
Probably.
I remember X talking about it, and I don't remember when that dude died. Fuck.
Yeah.
Holy
that dude.
shit. So it probably was like 2016, 2017, and like with that being such a big moment, that kind of started that whole like lyrical anti-mumble rap wave.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom MacDonald is another one of those rappers where they take on the aesthetic of a lyrical rapper,
Mhm.
and they don't really add anything to a conversation, specifically in their actual like music content. Like he's not really saying anything,
Yeah.
and he's not really a good, or it's not that he's not saying anything. He's not a good rapper. He's not good at playing, like, even if you want to get into the technical shit, like his wordplay's not that clever. Nothing about him is interesting.
He makes rap for people that don't like rap.
I think he literally just says like, what am I mad about today?
Yeah.
As a bigoted white man, and then he puts it on a beat.
Yeah.
And his engineer, I pray for, honestly.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. All the comments on my thing were just, how's it racist? How's it racist? How's it racist? Like, you know, you know.
Nah, it's always bait. They're trying to get you to
Yeah.
play into it, and they're like, look at this woke left lib
Yeah.
being fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So it is one of those things where eventually you just kind of have to give up because you can't change people's mind.
Yeah. It's like, what's wrong with writing a song about being white and proud?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's the same thing about like, why don't we have a White History Month?
Yeah.
That's literally like every history class you take in
Yeah.
fucking high school.
Yeah. They don't explicitly say that they're all white because you kind of just know that, like, you mean the default? Yeah. Like, white people do everything in history because they were the only people allowed to do anything. And 95% of the things in history are shit to other people anyway.
Yep.
So, like, I think you see why it's a little questionable to have that sort of pride in your whiteness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I was about to have the worst segue. I really got to get better at these.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I kind of have to say it now.
Really do.
Yeah. I said moving from somebody who probably has horrible thoughts on aliens. Let's move on
Doctor
to
Strange. No, I'm kidding.
we could actually move into Doctor Strange.
Do you want to, or you want to get into your alien kick? We could do Doctor Strange.
We could do Doctor Strange.
You seem a little hesitant.
It's gonna be a rabbit hole.
Oh, boy.
I may have gone down the conspiracy pipeline, so we'll get to that.
Yeah, you are no better than the guy you parodied.
Right. Trust me, I don't believe that Moderna is trying to harvest our babies.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
J&J, on the other hand. No. But yeah. So Doctor Strange. By the time this comes out, the movie will be out on that day, right?
Yeah. I'm actually going to see it the day after.
Nice. Let's pretend that we've already seen it then. For for the people watching. So yeah, wow, man, can you believe they got the Batman cameo?
That's what I thought was wild. Like, I know they were talking about the multiverse, but I didn't know it was going to cross over with Flashpoint.
Right. I can't believe they pulled that off.
To have Captain Carter against fucking Wonder Woman was wild. Yeah.
Crazy.
It really just like had me bricked up, I'm not going to lie.
That's one way to put it. I can't believe they got iRobot in the movie. Yeah. That's nuts.
They actually were able to have Ryan Reynolds double as Deadpool and Green Lantern.
Yeah, their whole interaction was crazy.
Yeah, having them fight each other and then
they made out.
Yeah. Throwing out one-liners at each other that
yeah.
You know,
only Ryan Reynolds could do.
Yeah.
Y'all are like capping, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna tell. Yo.
This sounds so crazy.
This sounds so crazy.
Cam fell for it. He was like, what?
We got a live reaction to this clip. Yeah, so the movie hasn't come out yet.
What the fuck? You guys are just spoiling it right now.
It's like Ryan Reynolds making out with himself.
No, that's some shit that like I could totally see him doing in some movie.
That's why I believed it. I was like, that sounds accurate.
It's just a little bit plausible, so you want. Oh my god, yeah. Ryan Reynolds making out with himself while he's doing one-liners.
Yeah.
Like, Doctor Strange just opens the portals and sees that, and then he closes it right back up.
And going back to racist, then Homelander popped up.
Yes!
Right?
Yes,
that was crazy.
That was nuts, bro. Oh my god. He, like, mowed down, like, half of the population.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
And then
Thanos
him and Superman dapped each other up, which was a crazy heel turn. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that part.
Yo. Oh my god. And then Chris Pratt pops up, and you're like, oh my god, it's Star-Lord. And then the first thing he says, it's me, Mario.
It's me.
It's
nuts. Me, and you think it's going to be Mario, but then he's actually like, nah, I'm just
where's
playing.
my lasagna?
Oh, no, man.
That shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah. Too bad he's, like, homophobic.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Just bring it right back down. Yeah.
We're just canceling everybody today.
Yeah, because that works, as we've already established.
We're anti-cancel culture, but we're canceling cancel culture and the people that are being canceled at the same time. So we're just canceling the cancellation of these canceled people.
PEMDAS, bitch.
Science.
I'm going to put that on a shirt. Just PEMDAS, bitch.
What were the other t-shirts that we talked about making?
We probably have a number of potential shirts.
Yeah, there were a few.
Speaking of which, merch. Not on the way. But we're thinking about it.
It's still on the mind. It's still on the dome, honestly.
Just had to throw that out there real quick.
Just tease people. But, yeah, to go back to Doctor Strange, I don't want to talk about the leaks, but we did get crazy leaks
big spoilers.
Without explaining what they were.
Some confirmation for some rumored characters.
Not just rumored characters, but I mean, like, we saw, like, full
costumes.
Pictures, costumes. I mean, this was, it wasn't just the trailer, you know.
Yeah.
You had kind of made the point where it's like, Marvel has this thing where they show a lot in the trailer to the point where you're like, oh, this feels like they're showing the whole movie.
But then it's literally just the first act.
Exactly.
That's
so it's one of those things where it's like, you feel like you saw so much, and then when you actually go to watch the movie, you get fucking gobsmacked.
Yeah, because that's what happened with Endgame for me, because I was in the theater for Endgame, I was like, oh, I saw that in the trailer. Oh, I saw that in the trailer. And before you know it, like, I pointed out every fucking thing before they even got to Thanos, I feel like.
Yep.
Like,
no, it literally, like, the trailers for that movie were that first opening segment, and then it completely cut to, like, a different movie.
Right.
The same thing with, like, Spider-Man, I mean, everything.
Yeah.
The problem with Spider-Man was that it was so heavily leaked beforehand going into it that we kind of knew what was happening. Mm-hmm. But
I'd say Doctor Strange sort of had that same effect, but not to the extent because of the popularity.
Yeah.
But no, we saw some shit. I saw some shit first, and I was like, "Yo, Colin, you trying to check this out?" Like, So yeah.
If you think that Doctor Strange is going to be a movie to skip out on, you are completely mistaken. This is going to be a really good movie to watch, especially going into new Marvel projects in the future.
I can't wait to get our reviews out next week.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Worst case, if we want to get it out even more current, we'll probably do it on the Colin and Devin live stream. Just to, quick shout out, we do the live stream every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Be there. Just for like more current topics. Like tonight, we're probably going to talk about Atlanta.
Moon Knight. Like maybe the predictions for the finale, which is going to be out, at least for us recording right now, tomorrow. So I'm excited. Yeah. But those are always fun. So join us Tuesdays at 8.
Yes. But in the Doctor Strange trailer that we've been seeing kind of get pushed out for the final week before its release.
You're just staring down that bug, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a fatty wasp.
Oh, it is a wasp? Holy fuck.
But...
Oh my god. Oh, you're right. I thought you got stung.
Not just another bug popped up and it freaked me out.
Okay.
In this trailer, they, kind of reveal that we're dealing with the Illuminati, which in the comics was like a bigger thing. It was like a group between Professor X, I think Iron Man.
Namor, Black Panther, Black Bolt.
Reed Richards,
yeah. I think
is Black Panther in it? If he's not in it, I think he's in another group.
I think he was. He might have not always been a member, but I think he was a
Maybe
member.
added in later.
He's definitely been in there. I think.
It seems like they're doing a different adaptation of it.
Yeah.
Now, but
from what we know from what Marvel's released.
Yeah.
We know of Captain Carter, which, by the way, I was on the money with that what if theory.
Yeah.
There is what if is not a singular thing. Like it's gonna connect some way. So yeah.
That was interesting to just see like you said, you called it on the money. Like as soon as we saw even the first Doctor Strange trailers, I was like, nah, this is it.
Bless you.
God damn.
Bless you. You good?
I was trying to cover up and everything, and I just couldn't get there in time. No, there were things in there that, like you said, just hit right on the nail with what if, and I think that's gonna have a bigger effect on this movie with who's in it.
Yeah. So we have Captain Carter. We have a version of Captain Marvel, which is gonna be Monica Rambeau. Either Monica or Maria. I think it's Monica. Professor motherfucking X.
Yeah. Same actor
unless it's just another bald dude. Just
no, imagine.
Yeah.
It's
actually
me,
Lex
fucking
Luthor.
Kingpin.
Yo, it's a me, a Kingpin.
Fucking Kingpin.
Yeah. All about the Mets.
All about the Mets, baby.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah. We have Captain Carter, Captain Marvel, Kingpin.
But the cool thing is, it is Professor X, presumably from the X-Men.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, the X-Men legacy movies.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty excited for, because I'm sure that they're gonna tweak it so that it fits more with the MCU narrative.
Yeah. It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be this. It's obviously not the same.
Just same actor.
Yeah. They're not gonna share all the same memories. I don't even think the Captain Carter is gonna be the same one from What If, but it was just a good way to establish her origin.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
But who knows? I'm really excited for the movie. We obviously got ourselves spoiled for what else they're hiding as far as other characters and stuff, but I'm still very excited to see that whole thing in Wanda's arc specifically.
Yeah,
she is the most powerful being that they've established in the universe so far.
And the trailers really are now starting to lean more into Wanda's involvement, and that's kind of what I'm excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah. I followed the girl who plays America Chavez, or who's going to be playing America Chavez.
Oh, yeah.
Xochitl Gomez, I think that's her name.
Mm-hmm.
She's funny.
But if you guys are trying to avoid spoilers, you may want to be off social media for a few days after this releases. You may want to stick to keeping off socials
You might just want to go dark entirely, yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're like really into the Marvel shit. I'm more casual, so I didn't see any of it until you had sent it to me.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where like if you want to avoid leaks, you really gotta, keep your socials tucked away. Cause
Sorry for about 5 to 10 minutes earlier when we just spoiled the entire movie, especially to you, Cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Online.
Definitely we're gonna put a skip at the front, which I'm not actually gonna do. The amount of times where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put this on the screen, and then I completely just don't. Shout out last week to Matt and Carlos. I never put their text up. It was gonna be a funny joke, like I said, callback, but I just never fucking commit.
God.
I was trying to rush to get that shit out, so. A quick shout out, by the way, if you guys see the new bench warmers, they're edited by our boy Cam now. Beforehand, I was doing like I was doing like a nice little just lazy ass cut, and then I would just export those complete segments. But now they're gonna have like a little bit more of like a stylized feel. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they'll be a little bit more entertaining to watch as like a YouTube thing.
We're up in the production value.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got it like that now.
Especially on Colin and Devin, we got some big things coming soon.
Yeah.
Kind of more rebranding, touching up.
We have not touched the idea for the Twister video.
Yeah, that was supposed to come out this week. That was crazy. Yeah, I literally said like in 2 weeks, it'll be out.
Yeah.
I never need to like put times on things like due dates on camera because I will always fail to meet them.
Yeah, why give yourself that pressure,
Yeah, honestly, I think that's why
But also,
I just barely scraped by.
You procrastinate a lot.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Cam
Boy,
just put a
fucking banger.
I missed again.
he may have missed, but it was.
We'll just say he made it. They didn't see it.
I mean, yeah. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ole, 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 ole.
Yeah. So
I don't
how about
watch
the soccer
football.
scene right now? Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, Bubba Wallace, really great out on the field. His home runs are crazy.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
Yeah, him and Drew Brees are just an untouchable duo. And I can't wait to see them go up against the Lakers for the Masters.
I'm gonna just let this.
It was the obligatory Colin doesn't watch sports joke.
Yeah.
It's a requirement at this point.
I was just gonna let that one stew for a bit. Let that whole thing marinate.
It's just a little painful.
Let people live in pain with me.
Yeah.
Cause I gotta sit next to you. Yeah.
It's like I actually have to look at you after this, and I don't want to.
Yeah. It's already hard enough.
So
Now, would you like to get into your alien fetish?
well, we don't have to put it that way.
Come on.
No, don't say come on like
Come
it's
on.
a fetish.
Come on.
We're not talking about a fetish. Okay, so
you should have seen what he was saying
Look.
off camera.
no, whoa.
I'm just ruining your reputation. Like, what?
Now my last name is Fry, and if you've ever seen Futurama, nah, this isn't helping my case. Anyways,
take it back a step real quick. Yeah.
So I kind of went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I've been really curious about this.
So generally, this is gonna be the part where if I don't show up next week, you know why. No, I'm playing.
I quit.
It's one of those things that's so public that what I'm speaking about is public knowledge. I don't think that it's any issue. I started listening to, it's called The Last Podcast on the Left, and they had done this whole series on something called MK Ultra, And this is unrelated to the alien story, just to start. But this kind of sets up my basis for like distrust in not just the government, but like specifically the CIA. As you know, everybody learns about like the Watergate trial, but we don't really learn about like why it was such a big deal. We just always hear like, oh, they were trying to like Nixon got caught trying to steal info on his opponents. But what also was stolen in Watergate was from like journalists, and they had uncovered like bits and pieces of a project called MK Ultra, which was this idea that the CIA really started, I think it was called like the OSS or something like that, and they were essentially the secret society that kind of operated as a branch of like the military. And
shout out the Illuminati, Doctor Strange.
not the tie-in.
Yeah. Speaking of,
They do actually have references in the podcast. So what I'm saying, if you don't believe what I'm saying, you can go check their sources. And if I'm wrong,
What was the podcast?
let me know. It's called The Last Podcast on the Left.
Gotcha.
Actually, kind of cheesy funny, but what they were saying was really interesting. The CIA basically started as this group of military guys who were like, well, government control, honestly, kind of sucks when
Kinda
you're
mid.
trying to do badass things. They felt like they were in a fucking Michael Bay movie. So these are the guys who, end up forming the CIA and are overthrowing governments. They're torturing people behind the scenes to get info, like that kind of shit that you hear about in movies.
Yeah.
So MK Ultra was basically this project, just to go into it in a very short-term way, where they essentially were trying to find a way to mind control people because they were under the assumption, or they were claiming that they were under the assumption that other countries were trying to do the same thing, like Nazi Germany, Russia, all that kind of stuff. The problem was they weren't. Nobody else was trying to do it. The U.S. government was trying to find a way to make a mind control drug. So they funded projects at Harvard to test the effects of LSD and marijuana and all sorts of other drugs, and try to see if they could use it to essentially mind control people or use it as a way of like interrogation. And you get into stuff like I think it's called like the Manchurian Candidate or something like that. I may be butchering that word, where they could also have somebody who could be like a trained killer or spy that literally just has they're basically trained to just do one task and then they blank out. Like they essentially
like the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where the idea of a lot of stuff that we see in movies do come from things that have been revealed or like have been hinted at or rumored. And that's kind of where that comes from. It's the mind controlling into losing your personality so that you just do something and then like you're done with your task. You're basically being trained to be a robot.
Yeah.
That is some shit that really happened. And the problem is there's also a lot more to it that we didn't get to know because in Watergate, a lot of files after the fact were burned. It's not like the digital age where a lot of records are going to be kept in digital databases and shit. Like these are like paper files that when parts of it were revealed, they had burned the rest. Now, I hope I haven't lost too many... God damn. Where was that? Yo, I just got smacked. That's the CIA. They sent a drone strike. So, generally, my distrust in government, but specifically the CIA, comes from the idea that they were funding the Harvard LSD experiments where they were essentially torturing people with LSD, giving them crazy, crazy amounts to the point where like fried their brain. Some of the subjects ended up becoming like serial killers and shit like that, where they just were not there. Now, when I get into this new topic, I was going back into my alien thing. You
didn't even get to the aliens. Holy shit. Yeah,
that was all just set up. And that was like really just very minute rundown of something that is completely like nuanced and takes a lot more time to elaborate on.
Right.
So then we get to the alien stuff. We all know about like the Area 51 thing and the whole raid or whatever when the pandemic started and people were being jokey and funny about.
Oh my God, that really was at the start of the. Holy shit! Yeah.
And essentially, part of the reason that all blew up is because the Pentagon, at the start of the pandemic, when everybody's like freaking out about real world shit, they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, like there's a bunch of videos on the internet of UFOs. They're actually real.
They're UFOs.
Yeah, they're actually UFOs."
To be fair, UFO doesn't automatically mean alien. It's just an unidentified item
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
The problem with it though is that they were saying that they were likely government projects, but that is such a like very specifically broad term.
Yeah.
Because it could mean, oh, the government is working on new technology, or it can mean, oh, the government found some shit and they're trying to figure out what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
And from the videos and from experts talking about it, it does seem like it is something that we did not make.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hate to admit that I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast on it. I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I do need to make sure that this guy is legit. His name's Bob Lazar, and
Bob Laser?
Bob Lazar.
Ain't no way you're listening to a motherfucker named Bob Laser.
Nah, but hear me out. He did.
You let Bob Laser get into your head.
Allegedly, he went to MIT, all this kind of stuff. And they say that his records got scrubbed from a lot of these places that he went to. And I feel like that's the only doubt I have, is that now you have this strongman argument of like, well, this person remembers that I went there. But like, that's your only evidence. And that's why I'm still a little iffy on it. But he was talking about how he had worked on some of like the things we had seen in those videos. This is where I may lose a lot of people, so it's fair.
Might be one of them.
Yeah. But if we just go off of the videos that they said are real, you have like videos of UFOs that don't act according to physics.
Okay.
Like there's a video of like a Tic Tac, they call it the Tic Tac ship. It's like a UFO in the shape of like a Tic Tac. Mm-hmm. Completely unaerodynamic.
Mm-hmm.
It goes from air to water, like within it. There's no change in movement. Like there's no slowing when it gets into the water. Like it just kind of glides through it like it's not a different medium.
Okay.
And the reason that people are so concerned about that is like they're like, that does not make physical sense in any way, shape, or form. Because like we don't have anything that can do that. Like everything that we have still applies to gravity. It still applies to, like
so
aerodynamics.
Hypothetically, if it was aliens, they're that advanced to where they can, to where they whatever ships that they have don't even have to conform to.
The thing is, the way he explained it, and this again may be science bullshit, but to me, it did kind of sound somewhat plausible. Essentially, the way it works is somehow it can this is going to sound like bullshit actually.
You've already started.
We had also figured out recently that gravitational waves exist, which is something that was super theoretical. We didn't know how it worked. We didn't even know if it really was the case, but we had seen like two black holes collided, and then there was like a bunch of gravitational waves that went out from it. So when you talk about gravitational waves in terms of like how light has waves, all these other things have waves, it can kind of be the theory is that it can be manipulated. So the thought was that these spaceships, this is going to be the craziest part. Like if you put this on TikTok, they're like, what the fuck is he talking about? The spaceships should hypothetically have like a gravitational envelope where, because it's able to have its own gravity. No, I'm not explaining this right, so this all sounds fucking stupid.
Bro, I was just saying words for real.
But literally, I'm gonna explain this after that. The cup holder.
I know. Go on. No, go on with your envelopes.
No, I don't feel as stupid anymore because you just dropped a cup.
No, I know what I did.
It essentially creates this like gravitational field around itself. And with that, it's able to move in ways that aren't generally possible because it's
Sorry. Holy shit.
it's not conforming to Earth's gravity. It's
So you're just gonna keep going?
Yeah.
I checked on you. You didn't check on me.
Yeah, no, that sucks for you, big dog.
I got a whole nest up here. Well, yours kind of looks more like a nest,
Yeah,
to be
mine's a
honest.
little
But like,
messy.
yeah,
So
got a lot more real estate up here.
the thing about the aliens is I don't know enough about it. It's really interesting to me. That's all I'm gonna say. It's one of those things where it could be total bullshit, but anything science related and the thought that there could be something else out there is terrifying but interesting because if anything, I think where I'm at right now is that if these are like, we're under the assumption that if something were to come here, they would automatically be so much more advanced than we are, to the point where they would probably kill us off like, bugs. Like if we went to Mars and we saw that there were life forms, I'm sure that Elon is fucking like, yo, get rid of it.
Have you ever seen the movie Life?
I don't think so.
It was a Jake Gyllenhaal movie about that sort
Oh,
of thing.
yuck. Not playing.
Sorry.
But,
Ryan Reynolds was in it. He made out with
Okay.
himself.
oh, nice. The idea is that they would do what we have done in the past. The idea is we would go somewhere, colonize, take over, take land, exploit. So the biggest fear about aliens is like people are like, well, what if they come here? It's like,
Do the same thing to us?
yeah. My thought is that if we already have UFOs, I think that they've been here. Not like on Earth or some shit, but like they can get here.
Yeah.
Meaning
Within
that
our
they
galaxy
don't.
just like scouting us.
Yeah.
I think we've been scouted.
I think that
We've been called mid.
I think it's
Yeah,
one of,
man, if we are even mid in the grand scheme of things, that is a compliment.
Yeah.
Because we are trash.
Nah, but
it
it is one of those things where like we could just be somebody's ant farm.
Right.
And, that's terrifying, but it's also kind of relieving knowing that like we're not dead yet.
Yeah.
And, something that Joe Rogan always throws out and likes to touch on, like monkeys are in the Stone Age. And it's one of those things where like if you can see us evolving to that point and, if they find that exciting, like if there's some other life out there and they're like, oh, look at this thing, like it's growing and it's being cool and shit. Like, we do that same thing too, and we always just kind of go under the assumption that like, oh, if there's something else, it's gonna kill us. Like we're a prey to something. Because we don't like being not at the top of the food chain.
Right.
Humans are just like so egotistical.
Yeah. We don't like the threat of not being at the top.
It's something that I'm not full set on. I just think that it is really interesting to think about.
Full set on what?
The whole like fucking alien gravitational waves and shit.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
But just the thought that there could be something else out there, or that there probably is something else out there.
I think it would be selfish and egotistical to think otherwise. To think that we are the only living beings.
Yeah.
Or this planet is the only one that inhabits living beings.
Because then we can get into the nuances of like religion and all sorts of shit like that, where it's like we are kind of like trained to believe that we are.
My thought with Christians is, I wonder if you're a Christian who also believes aliens exist. Do you think those aliens also believe in the same God?
No.
Exactly.
People make jokes about like
did
if you're
that God make those aliens as well?
if you die in space, are you like out of bounds for heaven?
Right. Yeah.
If you're on like another planet, do you still go to the same heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Earth heaven.
Facts.
The earthly heaven versus,
Like a Martian heaven.
Martian heaven. Damn.
This is like
that
Dragon.
sounds lit. That sounds lit as fuck. Yeah.
That's my band name. Look at Cameron.
Martian heaven. Look at him go. I'm so
Cameron
proud of
made
you.
the joke.
I'm so proud of you.
It's good.
Yeah. Oh, what a guy.
We're we're getting him really just like in with us. You know,
Yeah.
he's starting to make the same shitty jokes that we do.
You're one of the Mensch boys. Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, no, it was just a weird deep dive, and I think that starting with "I listened to Joe Rogan" was the big red flag.
yeah. It's not the greatest first line to lead. That's not the thing you lead with typically.
I'll recoup and rethink.
Yeah. You just re-edit the entire thing.
Yeah, so I completely cut out this segment.
Yeah. Let's get into more out there things. What are your thoughts on time travel?
Well, that was one of the things that the dude was talking about too. Was like,
Oh no way, really?
if you can control gravity and time are related in some way. So he was trying to assert that like, if you could control gravity, you could also control time. You can control. You don't have to conform to physics. That was basically the point he was trying to get out. But
I want to put some 2 cents in this.
oh, okay,
Ooh.
okay.
Cam's got something to say.
Ken's gonna spit.
Yeah.
I realize like every time he comes to talk, I always like move off the bench. Like we haven't been sitting here with like all three of us.
Yeah, but I just feel like time travel is cap because
Yeah.
you can't really go back to 1980 because we don't know what 1980 is unless we make like a virtual reality, like a universe, like metaverse, right?
Yeah.
If we made something so in depth that we can put details in the past, it can be easily fabricated, but that'll be the only way we can realistically travel
Go back.
and forward in time is digitally.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible physically because
Mm-hmm.
a time is something we made up at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And
time as
unless
a concept is more of how we just track where we're at, but in reality, it's not something that really exists in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, like if we started today and we're like, all right, from now on, we're gonna capture data globally, so that way we can maybe do time travel in the future. Then I'd be like, okay, possible.
Yeah, more like a digital archive.
Yeah, but like starting now, us going to 1980s, impossible.
Yeah.
That's just my 2 cents.
I was gonna say I don't believe in the whole if time travel exists now, it has always existed. I believe it if at all possible, I think it's from whatever point it is created to then on, and only back to that point where it is initially made.
You know how like when you look up at the sky, and if we were to see like a sun explode right now,
Yeah.
it probably happened like 9 or
Millions.
10 years ago.
I was saying millions.
Yeah, it depends on how far it is. Because if it's like 10 light years
hmm
or whatever, then it's probably 10 years ago.
hmm
But if it's hundreds of millions of light years away, then it's probably hundreds and millions of light years ago.
Yeah.
Something that may have happened at the beginning of our solar system. Like that can be considered like a form of not necessarily time travel, but just how light and time are affected just in the speed of which light travels.
Mhm.
So like there are things that technically we could probably see into the past about just because of the way light works and time works within that, I guess.
But to physically be there.
To physically be
Nah.
there is a different thing.
Yeah.
Like I think that that's something that's different.
Yeah. Damn, we didn't even get into like a fucking the J. Aubrey CNMA video that came out.
I guess that we could probably talk about that in the live stream tonight.
Yeah. Shout out live stream again, Tuesdays at 8. Join us on YouTube, Colin and Devin.
Yeah. If you guys are watching this now, then we already talked about the CNMA thing.
Yeah.
We already talked about every Moon Knight, Atlanta, all that on the live stream. You can actually go ahead and click right here to go
Please
watch that
actually
recap.
put something up.
I will actually put that. I did try to do that last week.
Yeah.
I'll put a little timestamp up at the top. It'll send you straight to the Colin and Devin live stream recap. So, yeah, it'll be like another episode of this if you guys are just walking around the house in your underwear, kicking your feet around, and you need something to listen to.
Sounds familiar.
It's something I do on occasion.
Yeah. You just happen to record it this time?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what y'all didn't understand. That's something I do on the off time.
Should have done it earlier. You could have got TikTok famous much faster.
Right. Anyways, appreciate y'all. Love you. Put on your tinfoil hat. And they're listening to your phone.
Yeah. don't go spreading Nazi propaganda once again. Just gotta let people know.
Werner von Braun put us on the moon, but he was also a big Nazi. The CIA hired Nazi scientists.
Yeah. Walt Disney's head is frozen in Disney World. You got anything else you want to
There's
throw
a
out there?
secret society of politicians, and they have major orgies and that was like a full Alex Jones thing. I was trying to remember. I can't even
Mark
remember.
Zuckerberg is not actually a lizard. He is a feral cat.
Elon Musk runs a sex cult.
Yeah, it's true. I'm in it.
Nice. See y'all next week.
Yeah.